Now let's look at another interesting topic. So this is percentage increase and percentage decrease. So this one we are looking at how we can increase um, some values or how values are increased as expressed in percentage of the original value. So this one, when we say percentage increase, what do we mean by that? It means that we want to know how a value has been increased in terms of percentages of the original value. Have you gotten how that original value, how it has been increased in value as it expressed as what? Percentage of the original value. The same thing applies to what? Percentage increase. This one too, we want to know how the value has reduced as expressed in what percentage of the original value. How that original value in terms of percentages has what? Increased or decreased. That is what we are looking at. So you see that I've given you a formula for finding this. So in the question, when you are asked to find maybe the percentage increase or the percentage decrease, whenever you are given certain values, this is how you go about it. So for the increase, you're going to have what? Increase over original item times 100%, and for the decrease, to decrease on original value or the original item times 100%. Now the increase, how do you find the increase? We are looking at the difference. Okay, how it has increased, the difference, how much, or yes, how many points has been added. Have we gotten that? That is the difference. Okay, so we will not waste time. Let's look at our first example so that we look at how we can um, solve these types of questions. Okay, so let's look at these two questions. So for the first question, it says a company's sales increased from 500 units to 600 units. What is the percentage increase in sales? So this one, what we do is we find what the difference, that is, we are looking for the percentage increase. So we look at the first formula, that is increase. But how do we find the increase? What we do is we find the difference. Okay, we are saying that it has been increased from 500 to 600. So we are looking at how many units has been added to the 500 to get what? The 600 unit. Okay, if we know how many units um, have been added, then we can proceed. Okay, have you gotten the point? Great. And so this one, you have to know the original what? The original unit. So looking at this, says it has been increased from this. So it means the original value was what? 500, and an amount has been added to get what? 600. Okay. So you need to know your original value or item. Then you need to know what? The difference. Okay. Great. So let's take them one after the other. Then we look at how we can solve these questions. Very simple. These questions are very basic. Okay. So when you get questions like this, you don't need to waste your time. You need to analyze the question, get your data down, and then you proceed with the solution. Okay. So let's proceed with our solution. Okay. So for the first one, let's look at um, the amount increase. Okay, so increased amount or units, increased unit. So let me make it unit, which is equal to, so you find the difference, that will be 600 minus 500, which gives me what? 100. And what is the original unit? The original unit is equal to what? That is the 500. So you just find the percentage increase. So percentage percentage increase, percentage increase, percentage increase is equal to, so the 100 divided by the 500 times what? 100%. Very simple. Okay, so questions like this, you don't need to waste time on that. So once we have 500, I think I can cross this. Then I will have what? 100, which will be left with 100 divided by 5 times what? 1%. Okay, good. So 100 divided by 5 gives me what? So this gives me 20. 20 times 1 gives me what? 1. So I have my 20%. So this is what? So it means that in terms of percentage wise, the value, which is 500, was increased or has been increased by what? 20%. It has been increased by 20%. That is what it means. Okay. So when 500 is increased by 20%, that means it's going to get what? The 600 units, because we get what? Additional 100 units to add up. Okay, good. So this one is very basic. This one is very basic. Then we look at the example 2, the same principle. Okay, so the example 2 as well, we are saying that the population of animals increased. So this one increased. Let me add D, because in past tense, population of animals increased from 200 to 150. What is the percentage decrease in the population? Okay, so if that is the case, then this one to looking at the formula, the same thing, we find what? The difference. So it means that this amount, that is the 200, or originally this is the total population, but it has been increased. Decrease means their number has been what? Reduced. It has been reduced to 150. But how many? How many has it been what? Decreased. That is what we are looking for. We all know that from 200 it has been reduced to what? 150. But it has been reduced by how many? And we are looking for it in terms of what? Percentages. That is what the question what? Demands. All right, great. So this one as well, you need to find the decrease, the decrease, the decrease amount or number, the decrease. So let me say the decrease number, because we are talking about population. Okay, so we are looking at the number. So the decrease number, the same as we find the difference. So we subtract 150 from, we subtract 150 from 200. Okay, we subtract 150 from 200, which gives us what? 50. Good. So it means that it has been decreased by what? 50. African has been decreased by what? 50. Okay, so once we know that this, then we find percentage of this. We are going to find what? The percentage of what? This, of the total, of the total or the original value. Okay, good. We all know that this here to the original number, original number was what? 200. That was the original number. So all that you do is, after finding the difference, the amount decrease, then you find what? The percentage decrease, which is equal to what? The 50 all divided by 200 times 100%. Since we have this and that, we can get what? 50 divided by 2 times 1%. So 50 divided by 2 gives us what? That is what? 25. 25 times 1% still give you 25. Good. So in percentage wise, it means that the total number of animals, which is 200, has been decreased by what? 25%. It has been reduced by 25% in percentage wise. But in the number wise, it has been reduced by what? 50. 50. Okay, good. But in percentages, it has been reduced by 25%. Okay, all right. So these ones are very basic. This is what? Very basic. Now you see this, for this example, there are a lot of examples. This one we are looking at, or we looked at how in percentage the actual value or the original amount uh, was increased in percentages or decreased in percentages. So in our next video or in our next lesson, we are going to look at how we can increase um, the quantity or the unit or the value when we are given the percentage. For instance, we have been given the values to find the percentage decrease. So this time, the next lesson, what we are going to do is that we are going to be given this, and then we are going to look at how it has been reduced, the amount. So we are going to be looking at this amount. Okay, we are going to be looking at this amount. Okay, good. That will be in our next video. So see you next time. Thank you.